what's your one thing that goes, I would rather die than
Well, back in the day,
be a bad person?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so that's your thing.
Now I don't want to die for shit, man.
Exactly. But when we're talking about Machiavellians, because we're all very similar-minded people and very open, my Machiavellianism is I would rather die, and this is my thing. I don't know if this is my background or what, but this is hell hectic. I would rather die than look like a bitch. Well, hi, baby. What's up? How we doing?
I'm good.
You feeling good?
Yeah.
Well, let's all make sure we talk into those mics. I've noticed last time it lets us. I'm not a veteran, but it kind of gets away from us sometimes. I think it's that nice crisp sound. You know what I mean?
That's it.
Can hear every little in my voice. So, Kishan, good to have you, man. What's up, bro?
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Bro, it's good.
Yeah, I mean, what's up is a ceiling, man. Probably a lame joke, but yeah, that's what it is, man.
Sounds like you've got a lot to teach us, really.
No, I have a lot to learn, man.
Well, I guess we're still very new to this, so being on camera and stuff, I guess maybe we've had, I mean, not so much experience because we've filmed quite a few, but one has taken off, and I think the rest will be next to follow. So actually, the game plan for tonight was we were going to have Jackson England, but unfortunately he had a issue with his partner, was unwell, but he can't make it. So next time he'll be on here, which is fine, man. And it's actually really nice to have you because if he, didn't make it, we wouldn't have met you, which is pretty cool.
I just put a fillers out on the networks, like called as many people as I could, and then Kishan picked up the phone. It's like, yeah, man. And the good thing about Kishan is Kishan's like a prime example, Kate, of a person that's transitioned kind of seamlessly from commerce in university into actually doing his own business stuff, which I think is sweet. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So when people say they're doing commerce, that's speaking Chinese to me. It doesn't make any sense. Business. Okay,
Yeah.
Cool. So, I mean, I don't take myself so much as a businessman because the only time I've worked for myself, I was taking my clothes off for money, but technically I had an ABN, so she'll be right. But I don't think that's the same as Elon Musk, really. But so tell us about you guys met in university, is that right?
Yeah, we did. So I don't know, Kishan, do you want me to go or do you want to start?
Go ahead.
Okay, so during the 4 years that I spent at Kayde University, I was always a little bit bored in class, so to speak. And Kishan was always this kind of likable dude that was always cracking jokes in class and always kind of like relating educational concepts to like real world examples.
Okay.
And it was great because like I was like, this guy gets it. This guy actually knows what's up. Whereas everyone else is just like worship the unit outline, worship the textbook. And this guy's like, nah, let's relate it to how is this like practical to our real life experience? Isn't it? That's about right. Kishan might remember the exact moment we met. Go on. What's your backstory of it?
Well, I really think there's this random ass motherfucker, right?
Yeah.
Who has his hair done properly. We're going out of that. That's what I remember out of my hazy memory because sometimes some of the brain cells are fried up. But
Yeah.
But it was out of a lecture room, and me and Mason we met. And then we went for this lecture and we never spoke about it. Then I met him at one of my tutorials and then, I don't know, we just got into each other and then we're doing entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
But
just like a little instant connection you guys had.
I mean, it was just like, okay, cool. I see this dude like in my lectures.
Yeah.
Now I'm seeing him in my tutorials. Might as well just talk to him, and we talked to him. And
so what's a lecture? What's a tutorial?
So main difference between a lecture and a tutorial is more interactive on the student's behalf.
Okay.
A lecture is just like watching a video. You're just watching a video of content, of educational content versus a tutorial where you can ask questions, where you have to engage with what you're learning.
Okay, so you guys were both studying commerce, is that right?
Correct, yeah. So it's just business. Business is a simple way of understanding it. So a commerce degree will include things like marketing, it'll include things like accounting.
Yeah.
It's a good degree to have. We both got one, which is great. So I think the main thing with that is that it gets you like entry level, like maybe like 50, 60, 70K, depending on where you picked up with what company. So it's a really good income booster. I don't fall in the bracket. I'm sure Kishan can vouch for this. I don't think that anything that we did at university was like, it wasn't a scam. Like uni is not a scam. Like it was actually worth it.
Definitely,
it was worth it.
Yeah. I learned how to research. actually make reports. So before I made a decision to go into accounting, I was doing mechatronics, which is more like robotics. And I got my diploma in it, studied 2 years, and then went on doing the first year of university. And then I'm like, you know what? That time I had my rapping thing going on. I was like with a different kind of people. There was a lot of partying going on.
University parties?
Yeah. So
wow.
They're wild. Yeah.
So,
They're wild.
Yeah.
I've been to one.
Yeah.
I've been to one. And it was
Fucking crazy,
absolutely
man.
insane.
Man,
Yeah.
it's mad, man. So
But
I couldn't.
But you think it's like America, you know? You watch like Bad Neighbors or
Like a frat thing. Yeah.
Why are you laughing?
fucking Zac Efron.
Why are you laughing? Jesus,
This is this
sixth
Kayde,
language.
man. From the corner, man. You look like fucking Zac Efron.
He's from another country and he's like, bro, you look like Zac Efron, bro. That's insane. No, so I mean, I went to one, and I thought it was insane how there was so many people, so many like-minded people, and everyone that you chatted to were very, very switched on, you know, very interesting people. But the amount of creativeness in the level of partying was insane. I mean, they're dressed up in togas, they're running around. People are literally, I saw a guy upside down on the beer chug thing. So I thought that was only in movies. I thought that was an American thing, but it was absolutely insane. And people were so friendly. And the one thing that I've noticed about that is people really want to fuck each other at that place.
Yeah, yeah. It's like a repression thing, bro. Because like, bro, the people that study the hardest at university, hands down, have to be chicks. And Kishan can vouch for this. Chicks are the most independent, hardworking, studying people. Whereas the guys get a little bit distracted on campus.
Is that sexist?
Get a little bit.
Is that sexist?
I don't think it is.
Okay,
I don't think it is.
I'll tell you guys something about uni.
You're
man.
right, though. You're 100% right.
The first 3
So let's
weeks.
dive into that because that's very interesting.
No, the first 3 weeks, man. You're seeing all.
Because I think it's like they've kind of, let me just finish my point. I think they're a little bit repressed by the time they get to the parties. They're
Yeah,
just,
I
like,
can
pushing
imagine.
it down, yeah.
I can imagine as well because when you're in school as well, I mean, guys and girls are very different. Girl. I mean, I'm not speaking on a generalization because that can get you in trouble. But what I am saying is the difference between guys and girls. Guys have a lot more distractions in the classroom. Like, so myself personally, I always found myself wanting to. No, it's all good, bro. Don't worry. It's just a little clip. I always wanted to find myself chatting to other people. So my parents sent me to a very prestigious school, which I eventually got asked to leave nicely, and then I went to another school. Yeah.
So, talk to me about it, man, because I can relate to that. How like you were told to leave or
so my parents are South African.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're from Africa yourself.
Yeah, Kenya.
Yeah. Okay. So
Powerful.
I mean, having South African parents taught me a lot about communism.
Whoa.
I don't know how strict
Whoa.
your parents were,
Yeah.
but my parents were strict, dude. Like, it was either my mum was okay, my stepfather was rough. It was you're either gonna get straight A's, or you're gonna pass school, or you're gonna be a rubbish man, or you're gonna be a junkie, or you're gonna do fuck all with your life. So it was a really scary time in my early 20s because I didn't study. I didn't have any idea of what I wanted to do. I knew I was good with people, and I hoped to God that was going to see me through. But I always felt like I was really stupid because I wasn't book smart. And it wasn't because I was book smart. It wasn't book smart. It was because I didn't want to learn. So if the reproduction of bees is more helpful in later life than how to balance a checkbook or how to put through your taxes under a business fund or something like that, I just didn't see the point in learning about the reproduction of bees in science class, or I didn't see the point in drama class, diagnosing why the curtains were red. Do you know what I mean? That to me didn't make any sense. So I wasn't interested. If I'm not interested in something, I'm not going to do it.
Yep.
So I always grew up thinking that I was really, really unintelligent. But because of the birth of the internet and because of certain things that I had learned about, I went, wow, there's actually different types of intelligence. Because, I mean, my father, very intelligent man, but socially intelligent, no. Emotionally intelligent, no.
Okay.
So there's so many different types of intelligence. So if someone's really emotionally intelligent, they might be really good with people. They might be really good as a personal trainer or a psychologist or even a professor. very good with people, very good at understanding people, can feel and sense things that other people can't.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you, did you know that the people skill is the number one skill in the world, man?
100%.
Like, if you don't understand people, you don't understand emotional intelligence, what you're saying, how to deal with day-to-day people, you can never, like, grow your business or grow your platform or make your technology open up to more investors because you don't understand human interactions, you know?
Exactly.
So what you call that, oh, I was just this stupid kid, is actually one of the most smartest, like, leaders out there because you understand human beings.
Yeah. Even from like a tech standpoint, like just, and this is not off topic, I swear, even from a tech standpoint, so technology speaking, like a developer or a programmer will design an application so it's addictive to the point where you get a dopamine hit. So you have to understand human beings on that level in order to relate the technology to people. Otherwise, the product's, well, shit.
And that's another mind blow as well, understanding dopamine hits. That is absolutely such a massive thing. I mean, as guys, I saw something the other day that was on a friend's feed or something, very spiritual guy. I'm not big on the spiritual realm thing. I think it can get a little bit...
Is this the guy that I know of?
Let's talk about it, man.
No, I don't think so. No, another guy. But
let's talk about it. Like, I mean, technology and stuff.
The spiritual side of...
Spiritual and also tech, man. Like, I mean, Elon Musk for me.
From my experience, on the spiritual side of things, I find people very passive-aggressive, which I find a little bit... Because... If you're a lot more regular and a lot more, not saying that being spiritual is, but the community that I met were a lot more passive aggressive. Now, I don't like people that are passive aggressive because that to me it's kind of dishonest because you're not
passive aggressive.
Passive aggressive is you're being aggressive, but you're doing it with a smile on your face.
Yeah. So cliche example, Kishan, politicians takes the stage rather than saying the economy's fucked. He'll say, okay, so essentially job rates in a specific sector of the economy are a little bit low.
Yeah.
But we see for the foreseeable statistics that we've seen, the future looks brighter. So indirect communication is passive aggressive.
Yeah. And I think maybe I'm a little bit different. I was born as a South African man. We're very, as you said yourself, actually, when we first met, you're like, oh, you're South African. You guys are a bit rough. You know what I mean? Like that. And that's a normal thing for people to think. And we are very rough. Yeah. We're very old school. Yeah. But the idea of passive aggressiveness, when I was in that community, it could be completely different. But I feel like when you've got so many people that are very happy, constantly happy. Hey, no worries, man. Hey, nice to meet you. Big hug. And that's cool. That's awesome. But when someone does you wrong, you don't really know how to take the steps of, hey, mate, you're really crossing the line here. Yeah. Let's look at that, you know, and like, instead of saying something like, "Ah, man, what's up? We're best friends," and then kind of having little jabs here and there.
I understand. And that's fucking toxic in my opinion.
Yes.
And I look, one thing that really gets me going on in that, because I face some situations where, like, I had close friends where I thought, like, these guys are going to be my brothers, you know, and I believe that I am a loyal guy. Look, I was born in February, man. I'm fucking loyal as a fucking motherfucker.
Wait. What is being born in February?
Yo, Aquarius, we're known to be loyal, man. Like,
so when do you become, because my best friend...
It's just who we are as personalities, you know, we're humanitarians.
What date? If you don't mind me asking.
What date?
Yeah.
18th of Feb.
Bro, my best mate's birthday is on the 18th of Feb. That's sick. Bro, that guy and I have been best friends. Jared Carrington, shout out. You know who you are.
Shout out to you, man.
Yeah. We were born in the same hospital in South Africa. We've been best friends 25 years.
And you must be, like, Jerry must be this person who's always happy, but at the same time, he knows how to control his emotions. At the same time, he can burst out. And you'll be like, this guy is all over the place, you know. But the truth is that...
I think he would say that about me. I think that would be the opposite.
But the thing is, the loyalty, what you're saying about the toxicity, that's where spirituality comes in place. So if somebody does you wrong, let's say Mason does me wrong, it's not like I'm going to look at Mason in a bad way. I'm just going to understand. When you understand somebody, you cannot love them. You understand them. How can I hate you if I understand you?
Right, yeah.
How can... If my ego is so big that I'm not listening to what you're saying, then I can never come on a common ground with you. You know what I mean? I can never sit on the same table as you because my ego is bigger than yours. But if I say, you know what, I am humble and I could learn something from this guy and he could learn something from me, him and I have a disagreement, but I'm man enough to sit with him on a table to understand what happened, what can we do next. And, you know, if you're my friend still, cool, rock with me, ride with me, you know, be with me. But if we're not, then how can we like never cross each other's paths and respectfully live each other's lives? People are not willing to do that. People are willing to hold on this fucking anger, you know, this grudge, like, you know, it's competitive. Like this motherfucker is doing this podcasting thing. He like stepped on me 5 years ago. I'm gonna be a successful businessman. I'm just gonna show him who I am. This is the energy I see in today's world with people our age. They just want to flex on people without having any sort of mindfulness on what they're doing. Are they living better?
Indirectly, that might not actually be a bad thing. Do you know what I mean? Like if someone saw Wilko's world and they go, damn it, I'm going to be a successful guy now. I mean, indirectly, it's not bad.
For yourself, but to put somebody else down,
that
is negative as fuck,
that's obviously a no-go, for sure.
That is negative as fuck. Yeah. Like, if today Kayde just came and told me like he made $100,000, I'd probably call up the BWS and pop a champagne.
That's one thing that's very interesting, though. That's one thing that's very interesting. Not a lot of people have that trait, okay? And I've explained this to many friends over beers or over just an interesting conversation. I've explained this to so many people. I don't envy people that are doing better than me. That's not true. If someone is doing a whole lot better with me, I struggle because I always compare myself. But
that's what you
in
lose.
Saying that, but if I know the person personally, just say Mason had just made $100,000 and he's gone viral and he's doing all this crazy shit, I'd go, fuck, that is insane. You know? That's awesome. But because I know him, if I know people that are doing really well for themselves, I'll be proud for that. And I'll be really, really interested as to how they did it and how can I do that too.
Yep.
Whether that might be someone might be better looking than you or might be smarter than you or carries a room a lot better than you. I find that really fascinating. But again, with the passive aggressive thing, I think I think ego is a massive part of it as well.
100%.
But I don't think that in the spiritual world, there's a big conflict on your ego is such a bad thing. Now your ego destroys you, but
you can have a healthy ego.
I 100% think that.
Now that's the thing. You can be. I think healthy ego is confidence.
Sure. Yeah.
See, an ego is when you oversell yourself.
Yeah.
Humility is when you undersell yourself. Confidence is when you sell yourself at the right fucking price.
Yeah, 100%. Right. And because there are people that are so humble, but they'll never get anywhere because they're too humble.
Being humble doesn't mean I'm going to say I'm sorry.
Yeah. If someone does you wrong, don't apologize.
Being humble is I'm just going to say thank you for waiting for me. I'm not going to say sorry, I'm late. I'm going to choose my words very carefully because I am humble. So I'm going to say thank you for waiting for me. I was caught up in traffic, but I'm not going to say sorry because I didn't step on your toes. Life still goes on. So I'm not going to undersell myself. I'm not going to oversell myself like, fuck it, I'm here, man. Let's keep going. No, I'm going to apologize, but in a way of gratitude, saying thank you, you know? And that's what humility is in my eyes. People always, they don't understand okay, humble. You're fucking making $1 million a year. How can I be humble, man? I'm going to buy Raris. I'm going to fucking roll Lambos. I'm going to have some fucking Pateks on my hand.
Yeah. I would automatically, if I had $1 million right now, I would call Kayde, I'd call Kishan, everyone I know, and I'd be like, look, this is going to go to my head. So just check out of all my socials.
See, that's already being humble. That's already being humble because you're like, I already foresee this. So guys, you know what? I'm going to enjoy it today, but please guide me in the right way. Because
if you see me in the newspapers,
it's so different. It's so different between what like certain people do with $1 million in their bank account right away. What's
most
the first
people
thing?
lose it. Most people blow it, dude.
What do you think they blow? They spend it on pussy. 100%. Yeah.
And then houses, cars, for sure.
For what?
Yeah. For most people like lose their lottery winnings again and again. But Speaking
I've
on
seen that.
speaking on like
You were saying it's harder to keep money than
Yep.
it is to make it.
Yeah, making it is easy. Keeping it is, well, to be honest, spending money, if you earned it from your blood, sweat, and tears, is really hard to spend. So if you made your money, right, and you got a partner, for you, it's going to be easier for you to let your partner use your money than it's going to be for you, because you value your money differently to what other people value your money. That to me is something great, right?
So the distinguishing difference here
so
is
spending
the
money.
That was the first thing
If-
that came in my head was like,
if you-
I ain't saying shit gold.
No.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah,
no. If you earn money,
is it the difference? Just let me finish this little tidbit, bro. So it's
Tidbit.
like tidbit. Yeah. So is it the difference between free money and money that you've earned, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's a
of course,
difference.
man.
Yeah,
right.
100%. That's a big
100%,
difference. Yeah.
easy come, easy go, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%. 100%. And that's anything. That's quality into the relationships we meet. Women in our lives, friends in our lives, women that are friends in our lives. If you haven't made the money, then you don't appreciate it. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah. And in loads of sense, money and women are the same thing, in
How
my
so?
opinion.
Go on. Interesting.
Here we go.
I don't know if I agree.
That is just like a cut
don't know if I
segment.
agree
We
with
got
this.
the segment. We got
Okay,
the
tell you
segment.
something,
What's
right.
up? That's going to be a clip. Wilkoz, clip.
Okay.
Boom. Carry on, sir.
You got money in your bank account that's getting bored. It's not being put to use, but now somebody else knows how to use the fucking money.
I'm calling simp.
All right?
I'm calling simp.
No. Listen. I tell you, if you got money in your
Not
bank
with that accent. I've fallen in
You-
love
you
with
don't-
him like 6 times already.
you don't invest it, you don't use your thing,
Yeah.
your money gets bored, and it's gonna get attracted to something or somebody that's using your money. So your
Oh,
bank,
sugar daddy alert.
same with a woman.
Wait, can you say that one more time? Like, same as a woman. Like, just say it.
So it's the
Just
same
say
thing.
that one more time, please. Just say, same as a woman.
Same as a woman. Okay.
Sorry.
Now, for
I
example,
was in a
I'll give
trance.
You just meet this girl and
Yeah.
you're this aloof fucking awkward guy. Just example, put yourself in a scenario, and you're like, hey, you know what? I got this girl who did all this. She spent some time looking good, did her hair, her makeup, whatever, but I don't appreciate it because like you wasted my time because I waited for you, but you spent like 2 hours taking care of yourself. She's gonna get mad.
Yeah.
But if a man,
And that guy's a dick.
yeah, and if another man came and said, hey, you know what? I like what you did to yourself. You took care of yourself. That woman is going to be instantly attracted to the other person, right? And that's how money is.
Ooh, I don't know if that's true, bro.
No. It's like, imagine
that's
it's a
true.
first date scenario thing, man.
Oh, first
It's a
date scenario, yeah.
date. Are you going to appreciate the person who appreciates you? Or are you going to appreciate the person who always puts you down? That's the question.
But how-
That's
No,
how
no,
money-
no. You've just opened
Money-
up a can of words because
Yeah.
a lot of people
See,
go for
money-
people that don't appreciate them.
That's
That's a big, yeah.
You remember when we were sitting outside, I was like, the irony of world is like,
Yeah.
you attract things you don't like.
Yeah.
And so that's why spirituality.
No, but
you end up,
how does that?
No, but you see my point.
I'm still
Volatility.
trying to ask the question. How are women like money?
and by the way, this one my father
they're
has taught me.
desirable?
No. I want to. Yeah, I want to know.
This one my father has taught me. So
Yeah.
it has wisdom to it.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm just bringing some shit out of my head.
No.
Like,
Yeah, I
So
respect
the
it.
reason why it's like this, it's volatile. You don't take care of money, it's gonna leave you.
Yeah.
You don't take care of your woman, she's gonna leave you. It's the same fucking thing.
Okay,
All right.
Now I kind of understand.
And it had to be somebody matured, like my father, to tell me these things in order for me to understand the value of money, to understand the value of the people around me.
Right.
I've had like long relationships in my life who I feel like I am valued to have you in my life because I'm grateful, because I am who I am, because I learned some things from you. I had this masculine energy, now I'm balanced up because you came into my life. I understood you. I didn't use you.
Yeah.
And when I used you, in a few months you were gone.
Excuse me.
I had money in my bank when you said pussy. People go partying, people get drugs, they use, and then 2 years later they wake up and are like, oh shit, I had like so much money, now I have nothing.
Yeah.
Because
I've aged 10 years.
I never respected the money.
Yeah.
That's what I'm just saying, But,
Yeah.
Um,
No, you know what? In 100%, I agree where you're coming from. Like, I think
it's very
I think if
volatile,
Yeah, well, 100%. I completely I agree where you're coming from. I think it's very easy, especially in an open discussion, it's very easy to diagnose it and go, oh, no, not quite, and break down every little individual thing. Because there are some people in this world that aren't appreciated, but they'll stick around with people that aren't, and you know that, you've seen that. Like the guy in school that's dating like 10 other chicks, and then there's just that one girl that just follows that one dude for the whole senior year. And you know that's like a masculine thing, or you know it's just that, and you look at that girl and you're like, you poor girl, you could do so much better. But if you say that to that poor girl, she gonna be like, yo, bitch, what the fuck are you doing?
Everyone has their own like decisions to
it is like, very different.
I've been in a toxic fucking relationship, and I took shit, man. Everyone, I believe everyone in life, one day they will be in one.
Yeah.
It's just that you set up boundaries, right? That doesn't matter on like human choices or anything like that, but what really matters is what you do after it. Like you like boxing, like that's what she's told me. Like you're into boxing, and like when we first started the podcast, like boxing. One thing I like about boxing is it's a competitive sport, right? You get punched. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna be down. You can either be fucking down or you can get up and keep fighting. Like it's the choice that you make, man. You know, it's the choices that every single day you make determine what your life is going to be. You got 24 fucking hours, man. In those 24 hours, you make fucking 3 good choices, man. I can assure you, you're going to be a multimillionaire. It's written.
So, you know? I love that. I love that about you, bro. You're a very positive guy. And you're almost like, you know, we were talking about spiritual. We're like, but he's spiritual in a way where he's smart about it. But to have that kind of outlook on life, and since knowing you, since you've been in the house and you've been, and everything that has been on your mind and everything that you've shared with people, you've been very enthusiastic and very positive. And that's something that not a lot of people have, because a lot of people feel resentful. I've been guilty of it for times where I feel down on myself and I'm like, shit, I could be doing this, I could be doing that. And I'm hard on myself. But to have that kind of outlook and that kind of projection really does fire back what you put out there into the universe. I truly believe that, and I think you should really condone yourself for that. I think that's awesome, man. That's really cool.
Absolutely.
You go on. Mason needs to chat.
The Johnny Walker, man.
Oh, the Johnny Walker.
Oh, the Johnny Walker. Let's try and not have a repeat of what happened last time.
So whilst Kayde gets Kishan a drink, I would love to know what's the founding story behind your small business?
There we go. So that positive energy has been put to work.
Okay. So sorry, what was
founding,
I was more
founding story
the forefathers behind your
business.
Okay, founding. First of all, I didn't know I was gonna start up a business in the citrus industry. So citrus, like, so WA consists of 3% of Australia's annual exports on citrus. So that's about 2,000 tons. And I started getting fascinated about it. I don't even like oranges, to be honest. So I went for this. I don't even know what. That's what I'm saying. We attract things we don't like, and now we end up making money from it. Like, ironically,
it's indifferent. I like that.
So, fuck, have I got a funny story about capsicums? Okay. We'll dive into that in a bit.
Yeah,
you carry on. You carry on. I had a guy flex on me with capsicums once, but we'll go into that. You carry on. I'll save this for later.
Okay, so what happened was I went for a holiday, 2019 December, which was the New Year's for 2020, and I went to Philippines, went to Singapore, but when I went to Singapore, I saw these machines, right, that were vending machines, but you could have oranges in it, and then they would dispense orange juice right outside my hotel.
Like that, they have that at IKEA as well.
Yeah, IKEA. I actually know the owner of that.
The orange guy at IKEA or IKEA in general?
No, the orange guy in IKEA, man. If I knew I wouldn't be here, man. Like, I would be fucking Sweden, man, or something. But yeah, he's a good bloke. But yeah, I had this epiphany, you know, like aha moment, like, you know what, I'm going to start up this business into like the citrus industry. So what the next thing I did was try out suppliers from China. Is like, hey, I want these machines. Where can I source the best suppliers? And that's what I used Alibaba, and I learned how to speak to them. So whichever companies, guys, whoever wants to see the viewers, if you want to use Alibaba as something or any e-commerce platform you want to like get suppliers.
Are you doing like drop shipping or?
Yeah, well, I have done drop shipping before. I can prove it to you. Like I've made $18,000 profit in a month.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I used to sell like smoking accessories of weed and shit like tobacco. And then I got shut down.
You mean vases, right? You mean vases?
Yeah, okay, yeah, vases.
Because you go into these smoke
coffee
shops.
Coffee grinders,
There's a crack pipe, and you're like, "What is that?" And they're like, "Oh, what? That, my friend, is something that you disperse flour out of." You know, like they don't even know what they're fucking talking about when they're on there. You know what I mean? Eh? Like,
so if you guys want to source a supplier, one thing you want to be looking for is good communication. Mm-hmm. You want to send a message. You want to see how long it takes for them to reply you. That's customer service, right? Yeah. So these are the people you can trust.
Yeah.
Because if somebody's replying to you quicker, that means they care about you as a customer. Mm-hmm. They care about the deal. They care about everything else. It's going to be the same after the purchase has been made. So that was my first beginning. So I started seeking out. Then I found a company, got all these things. I had some money saved up. So for 5 years I was working, had some money in my bank account.
Nice.
And, and I'm like, hey, so that's when I hit my dad up and I'm like, look, I've got this money saved up, but I just need like $15,000 and can I...
And he's in Kenya?
Yeah, he's in Kenya.
Okay,
so, and he came for my graduation. So he gave me a lot more than $15,000, but the point was that I approached him and said, you know what, I'm going to pay it back. And
he respected you as a man as well, which is
exactly. He's like,
also
oh, my kid wants to do something. You
know?
He's just
that's
not
awesome.
This dumb, stupid fucking kid, you know?
Yeah.
So he respected that. I did it. By June 26th of June, I was already in the shopping centers, had 4 locations already running. And 29th, I was like running business, man, 29th of June. So within 6 months, I had like 4 locations, spoken to people, spoken to big companies who have shopping centers under their name. And then like all these things happening from my garage, and like for me, this is all new. And then had a accounting job because I graduated in February, had an accounting job from fucking March, April, May. And I'm like, you know what, 3 months, I am done with this, man.
Yeah.
I can do accounting for myself, but I'm not going to do it for somebody else.
Yeah.
I jumped on that entrepreneurial journey. I'm like, you know what, whatever happens, happens. I'm anyways not Australian. If I could lose everything. But if I could gain a lot. And not only in terms of monetary value, in terms of experience, in terms of knowledge, in terms of confidence. Like, oh shit, I actually did something.
Yeah.
So
wow,
that's how it started. My founding story. Like I went for a trip. It was like a completely aha moment. We came out from nowhere.
So it's one of those things where you found what you wanted to do.
It's like, yo, this shit is cool, man. Like vending machine giving me a fucking orange juice,
and you go, okay, I can make this work. I can make this work in person.
This shit's gangster.
Yes, sir.
Is that an orange ounce of fucking juice, boy? That's sick. I 100% know the feeling, bro. 100%. I know the feeling. Not that I own orange stores, but I know shit like that. That is awesome. Yeah. What were we saying?
Oh, I was just saying that you're just internationalizing something that's already worked.
Yeah, I think so, man.
And I think like there is a big flex on vegetables and fruit. No, I'm not saying that to take the piss, but I'm going to tell you my Capsicum story. Would you like to hear my Capsicum story?
Yeah, sure. Why not, man? But at the same time, look, agriculture is crazy. At the moment, I'm doing about 400 kilos.
I really want to know what this story is about because we've got Kayde's partner.
I'm not taking the piss.
No.
Honestly, I'm not taking the piss. I want you to know that.
No. Look, but I know the numbers, bro.
Yeah.
I know the industry, man. It's fucking big.
Yeah, boy. No. And you know what? 100% respectfully, like that's amazing. And you've got a product here which you're going to show very soon, which has oranges on it, which I'm actually really looking forward to.
It's crazy,
looking forward to diving into that now. I'm not taking the piss, but when you did say something about fruit and you were like, I'm proud of that.
Yep.
I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, I could never be, it's not something that interests me. Cars interest me. Cryptocurrency interests me. Exactly. Boxing interests me. Fruit doesn't interest me. But
me neither, man.
Business besides fruit, you're like, this shit is fucking interesting, but this is what it is to make me money. Now, this is a completely different story, okay?
Okay.
I had an ex-girlfriend once, right?
Okay.
I had an ex-girlfriend.
Yep.
And you know that time where you meet the ex-girlfriend and you have to make light of the parents, right? You have to kind of do the thing with the parents and the parents are usually like I've had girlfriends with amazing
Only ever
parents.
done that once where you like shake the hand of a girl that
Yeah.
you've actually gone on a date with.
Yeah, because I know when I have a daughter,
Mm.
I'm gonna go okay because I know I will. I'll end up with like 5 of the
home by
things.
10, mate.
No, I'm going to say to the guy, look, I got a boxing ring in the back. If you can do 3 minutes with me, you can go on a date with my daughter. If they don't tap out, then I'm cool with that.
I like that.
But you know what I mean?
For me, it's gonna be this room, yeah. It's gonna be full of guns, bro.
It's going to be a murder room.
You wanna take my daughter? Make sure you fucking protect her, boy. I'm gonna come and fucking whoop your ass, man.
Shit, you look
man.
about 30.
16, man. I was fucking sniffing white when I was 16. What are you doing, cuz?
But you know, it's weird. It's weird when you like, as much as it's such an equal thing now.
Bro, I like the energy.
So what's the Capsicum story?
Oh my God. Okay. But yeah, it is funny because when you said about the fruit thing, I was like, I have to say this. It's so funny. But when you make that first impression with the old man, right? And I've had girlfriends with great parents, and I love them a bit, so they've always been good. But this one guy was such a wanker. Hey? Oh my God! So he's a bit of a misogynist, you know, a bit of a prick, and like whatever, dude. Like you can be a misogynistic prick, whatever, man. Like if that's maybe you're old school, maybe that's who you are. I get it, but don't be a fucking douchebag about it, bro. And this guy was such a tool. So myself and my partner, we went out on a skiing trip, and the whole family was there. And I'll never forget this guy aside. Now he apparently imports and exports capsicums or something, bro. Oh. So this guy pulls me aside, and he says, I forget what he said, but it was something to do with on the lines of you and me and the daughter and what kind of a guy I knew. I'm 18 years old, and I know at 18-year-old when someone's being a flop. You know what I mean? So this guy turns back at me and he says, I'm a very important man. And he looks me down like this, and I went, and I'm still humble at this point. I'm like, I understand that, sir. And he goes, I control every capsicum that comes in and out of the North Island of New Zealand. And I'm like, what the fuck kind of flex was that, bro? Like, are you talking orange or like yellow or green? Red, that's red, that dude red as well. I didn't know what to say, bro. I was like,
In your mind, you're literally like, okay, so he's not solving any geopolitical kind of crisis.
I think I had an embolism.
He's importing and exporting capsicums.
I know, and I was like, and I was like, I remember like looking up at him, and you know when you're 18 and people are a lot older than you, and you have to respect them, and
if capsicums disappeared, I wouldn't care.
He looked down at me, and he was quite tall, and I'm 6 foot. He was a tall guy. I looked up at him, and he said the capsicum thing, and I'm like thinking in my head, I was like, should I just punch him? Like, what do I do, man? It was the weirdest thing.
Bro, you should have punched him, man.
I should have punched him, mate. Like thinking back now, and I should have just gone, like that deserves being punched just because you're such a flog, bro. Like if you say, look, I control every single mineral that comes in and out of the mining industry. You're like, yeah.
You're some big boy.
I understand that. Look, and because but not any different. You shouldn't treat anyone any different because of their background. You shouldn't treat their daughter you should treat their daughter with respect.
I don't know how much money's in capsicums.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I mean, I was a young man. I didn't treat the daughter with much respect, but it wasn't because he was important because of the capsicum.
No. I didn't know about I thought...
Bro, can we juice some capsicums, dude? Like, maybe we can get it from the bro. Like, what a fucking nasty, flog. Man. Anyway.
Hey, guys, I don't know if I can put in a topic.
Yeah, please.
John, it's a podcast, man.
So far, like recently I've been enthusiastic about health. I'm seeing, like, you guys take your health very seriously. Like, you're in good shape. He's in good shape. I see he's throwing.
What are you saying?
Throwing your guns. I mean, it's pretty cool.
I don't smoke, so
yeah, but you know what I mean. Like, whatever you do, it doesn't matter. But you're still taking care of your bodies, man. Like, let's talk about health. Like, let's talk about.
That's what I'm thinking about 100% of the time, Kishan. I think about it when I'm having a cigarette. My health. I'm like, oh yeah.
Yo, why don't you light up a cigarette?
See, I don't smoke. My parents smoked. My dad smokes like a fucking chimney, man, and like. I smoke a cigarette now. Like when I was younger, I'd have a couple of cigarettes. Well, I smoked for a couple of years when I was younger, but I have one now and I just feel ill. I can't stand it.
Cigarettes fucked up, man. I'm not saying fucked up in a bad way. I used to be a chain smoker, man. Like, but I just feel like it's so many chemicals in my fucking lungs. Like,
What's the topic? What is
Health,
About
like
health, yeah.
Health,
So
right?
like just like diet. So like, what do you guys know about your health? Like, what
Well,
do you know about
I
health?
used to be a PT.
Okay.
So, I mean, I studied because my parents were, you study or you fuck off. So I studied personal training because I thought that was the easiest thing. And I failed miserably because I didn't know how to remember shit that I wasn't interested in. They're like, this vein attaches to this, and this is a type 2 twitch fiber, and this is hypertrophy, and this is, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I didn't care, bro. All I wanted to do was be like, go on, Karen, you can lift that deadlift. Just go on, sweetheart. You can do it. It can't be that hard, eh? You know what I mean? And I knew it because I was like, if I do this course, then I can use my grandma's money and buy me a sweet car. So I bought me a sweet car, and then I was about to flunk it, but I was one thing about the people skills, and this is nothing that actually I am a little proud of it, but about the people skills, I managed to charm the lecturer, who was a middle-aged woman, and I would, be in dire need of a little bit of assistance. Where basically she wrote
was in dire need of a little assistance.
Yeah, maybe sound like it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. But no, she basically, my last exam, I was there with her, and she was helping me through it, and she basically wrote the whole thing for me.
In your exam?
In my exam, yeah. In
Who
my last
was this
thing.
girl?
She was a very supportive middle-aged woman in dire need of some help.
How did she get away with it in exam theatre?
Well, it wasn't an exam theatre. Like, you had to write the test
on your own
by yourself. Yeah. So I did it, but I was, and this is nothing that I'm like super. It's like it's not like a flex or anything.
How'd
Like,
you
it's no
charm her?
Capsicum. Put it
How'd
that
you
way.
charm her?
I didn't. I was just very. I was very good with her. I was very, every day I'd go in, ask how are they going, and we'd carry on, and she'd go, oh, okay. And I was the favorite in the class because I was funny. You know what I mean? Like the other guys that were studying a bit older than me, they would stick to their own, and they would do the.
So
and I would.
How much percentage of the exam did she write for you?
Honestly, about 60%.
Whoa.
What was the exam on?
I don't remember.
You wrote 40% of it.
It was actually your Cert 3 and Cert 4. So your Cert 3 is more about like your
Can we name
physical. No. It was like your physical side, and then your other side is like your business side. So what it is that to keep the business running and stuff like that. And I didn't know how to do Excel. I didn't know, it's a spreadsheet. And it went from her, and then my mum's friends were helping me. And then like I had people in my class and they helped me through it, and they got me through it. I mean, it wasn't like a one-sided relationship. They obviously got their benefits from me because they enjoyed my company. We hung out and everything. But she almost wrote the whole thing for me. And when people go, all right, you're my PT now, I know shitloads about, how to look after yourself, how to lift a weight properly, and how to not injure yourself. And if someone is injured, what to do in that situation, which I think is very good grounds to hire me as a PT. And I was a very good PT. I was very energetic, very loud, and people liked me. But again, if I was to talk about like a practical sense, I wouldn't know much. I don't know the science behind it. Whereas someone like you might be very, very good at studying and learning the logistics. I'm not saying that you're not a people's person, but you'd be much better at that kind of stuff than me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. And I just want to add like to your story about like the teacher that pretty much helped you on the exam. The funny thing is at university these days, Kayde, in all honesty, dude, if a person doesn't know something about a subject, he'll pay another person to do it for them. There's so much cheating. It's not even like, it's so prevalent. Like they'll just pay them to do their paper or their assignment.
And I think that is it. Okay. One thing I did want to ask, is it like America now, like where you can have safe dogs and shit?
What do you mean?
You know how like everything nowadays that you see on the news and stuff is almost like a liberal arts campus, and everyone is complaining about shit.
There's like the only thing.
Is it like that in uni now, or has it quite made it to Australia?
No.
Okay.
So you can
Australia is Australia, bro.
Yeah, we can.
Aussie's fucking Aussie, mate.
Australia number one.
Yeah.
Like, on the in the campus grounds, like you'll see like a lot of posters, like like sexual assault posters and stuff, and all that kind of stuff.
Oh.
But
That's not good.
But I've hit on girls and like I've gone on dates and stuff. And
You fucking savage, man.
Fine.
Yeah.
These guys are Kelly right now, man. You white R. Kelly, man.
Oh,
Let's talk about it,
actually,
man.
to be fair,
Mas,
I see where you're coming from. As in, he went from no, we're not like that, and then there's posters on sexual assault, and then there's
like
I do
Mason-
hit on women as well.
He is the one who made the posters, man.
That was a bad transition, bro. Correct yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, it is what it is. It is what it is. Hey. The two consenting adults. It's fine.
Yeah, fuck. But it's something that fascinates me because it's always the drama in universities and stuff like that is really.
But by the way, guys, I don't want to break this up.
Depends
man.
on what
I mean, these
university
cameras
it is.
going on shit. These guys are about to fucking follow their dreams, man. Come on.
Here we go.
Like, subscribe, man. Hit
Oh,
a
yeah,
comment,
that's other-
man. Like, do something. You want to see better fucking things?
Shout out the
more,
window.
more challenges, more like funky stuff, more like people like me on the podcast. Come on, man. Hit a like, hit a subscribe, comment. Look at that, man. People put in effort for this, man.
I
It's
like this
effort,
guy.
yo,
I love
you know?
this guy.
So, okay, now back to the story, but... And also,
might have
look
to-
at that. The world is yours, man, So fucking hello to my little friend,
We might have to have him on for the Halloween special. That's going to be a
Oh,
little bit-
shit.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be a good episode, man.
I'm gonna actually be dressed like the Halloween, man. Fucking Michael Myers kind of thing, Yeah.
So tell us about your company that you got going on. So we led with the oranges, and now you have orange products.
Whoa. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
To put it lightly, yeah.
Tell us about the
Okay,
products.
so at this moment, what's been released to the Australian
front of the
market?
camera, yeah, let's have a look.
So these are the cups that we're selling our oranges into. So like we squeeze these orange juices, we seal them up like basically like a bubble tea kind of thing, and that's what we're selling into. Now the raw materials, the peels that come out, we're gonna make like citrus peel powders that can be used as marinades with chickens, like with chicken, or like we can add it with chilies or different things. At the same time, these can be used as like scrubs, like face scrubs.
So you can cook and exfoliate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Damn!
It's
because
basically
they
just-
have that coffee shit as well. They sent me
Yeah.
It's like
because
a
when I was
Shark
doing
Tank, bitch.
yeah, when they were doing modeling, I was doing modeling, and they
Okay.
kept sending me these coffee scrubs and shit. And then I'd have to take photos, and I'd be like shirtless, and I was like shredded as back in the day, and I'd be like, I'd have like these coffee like all over me, and I just smelt like Starbucks, and I'd be on the side, and I'd be like, this is the product that I use to exfoliate, and all it did was make me a little itchy.
Yeah, well, it's citrus, man. Like oranges has its own vitamin C's in it. We can distill this and make oils. Talking about oils, that's
I'll
a
hold
new
up all the products for the camera.
Yeah, that's a new product.
Okay, so
that one's just sample model. So no,
this is a body scrub.
not really a body scrub. That's just a peel powder.
So you can actually cook with this
You-
as well as
you can.
exfoliate.
I mean, you can add it in baking.
Oh.
And you can so it's just like the peels.
Orange
You
peels?
know the peels.
Yeah.
They just basically dehydrated, and they just grind it into powder, and like we sanif it like with the sieve, and we package it. We give people like the most purest form of, you can use it in so many things. Face scrubs, you can use it in cooking, you can use it in like making oils, like distilling this thing. Like,
Can
there's
I
so
do a
many
line
things.
of it?
So we'll put a link in the description below.
Yeah, sure.
as to
I mean,
if
we're
you guys
still
want
not
some of
yet.
this.
We're still not yet on. We're still not yet like.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there. What else you got? What else you
Okay,
got?
so that's oil, essential oil. We just want to focus everything on citrus.
What is essential oil?
Essential oil, you can be using it in diffusers, aromatherapy. At the same time, you can be using it as pesticides, herbicides. You can add these oils into different things, right? There are like 9 different industries you can get into. Now, in these oils, there are different chemical compounds like hesperidin, there's like D-limonene. Now, this is where the vision of the business is going to be, where we're going to be extracting these different chemicals and mixing them with like steroid creams. And like at the same time, the same capsulated D-limonene pills will help like gastritis, which is like reflux. And these are medical conditions.
I've never seen someone so fascinated by that essential oil. We've got a
Oh,
hot lady in the background just looking at the essential oils going, oh my God, what the fuck is that? Give me that shit now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. There we
So I mean, these pills you make, so it helps with gastritis. Like when you reflux is gas, basically. So
Let me hold that up
yeah,
as well.
you can even open it up. I mean, there's 100 ml, 30 ml.
Oh,
We
that's
spoke
a
to
beautiful
Priceline.
casing. Look at that.
Priceline chemists. I don't know if at this stage we have capacity to supply to
That's a magnet.
to 485 stores. I don't think so, but like, look, we'll take it, man. Like if we can increase our production,
that is beautiful. Look at that. Look at that packaging.
Out of all of those,
pretty cool.
Kishan,
that.
which
Oh
one's
my
which one's your best seller?
Gosh.
Of course, the orange juice, man. Like
Orange
kids
juice.
love it, man.
Orange
It's
juice is
freshly it's freshly squeezed,
That's the best one.
like
Nice.
100% unpasteurized. There's no heating element to it. There's no water added.
Right.
I've sourced like the Western Australian farmers, and that's what I really want to help. You know, that industry grow.
I like that. So you're just taking,
So-
you take it in your mind, you go, okay, so I'm going to take an orange, then I'm going to deconstruct it. I've got the
Yeah.
peels. What can
So
I
many
make out of
things.
this?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
So talking about those the medicines. Now you can add it with like so hesperidin with D-limonene. There's these chemical things you can add with steroid creams that can like sexually transmitted diseases like herpes, for example, has no fucking cure, right? Has no cure, for example. So the patients need to keep buying medicine or they need to keep buying. So it's like a roller coaster thing, right? And that's why I found this like light bulb moment where you got to go to a GP to actually get those medicines because you can't get it off the shelf. But what if I made a product that can like reduce your pimples, your cold sores, your fucking herpes, whatever you got? I don't care. I'm not going to judge you. But off the shelves, you know, you don't have to go
Does it have
and
oranges
embarrass
in it?
yourself.
I'll just take this. I'll take
Has
this.
Yes.
So it's just like,
Has
as
it?
soon
Doesn't
as
have
you-
citric acid in it.
As soon as you have like unprotected sex with a stranger, you go, you know what? Get my orange.
No,
Yeah.
Stick the
I
orange
wish,
on your
man.
dog.
I know a guy.
But I think that's where the market is going to be. That's like the main business for McDonald's is not fucking hamburgers, man. It's fucking
Real estate.
Real estate, exactly. The main
Ooh, what a
business
movie that
of
was.
fulfill life is not oranges. It's fulfill life itself. Like, how can I live a better life? How can I be better?
Yeah, nice.
How can I invest?
So it's like a lifestyle brand.
Yeah, 100%. Each and everything is copyrighted. Each and everything is like has like fucking barcodes. We good, you know, until we hit the market. When I hit the market, that's gonna be fucking different. You know what I mean? That's like a dream come true. Like Conor McGregor walking on those fucking roads and those fucking like paths. You know, like, hey, you know what? I manifested this. You know, like I didn't expect this.
I can
thing.
already.
You know what I mean?
I love that. I already want to buy it. You got to make sure that you get some of this shit. But like, I can already tell. Like my, we were talking about ego before. Like my instinct as a man, like as a guy, it's so weird because you're talking about oranges and I'm like, bitch, I can do it with pineapples. You know what I mean? Like I almost want to do that shit myself. I'm so sold.
No, it's good, man.
100%, man. That's such a brilliant
I
idea.
love competitive,
gonna
man.
do it with
Competitive
grapes.
natures. You know, the thing with competition is like friendly competition is the best competition. That's why I believe like business relationships are the best relationships.
Nah, man. Ends justifies the means, man. Go full Machiavellian on this shit. Full Machiavelli.
Explain, sir.
Why?
Oh, yeah. So
hey,
Machiavelli.
guys, how about you guys talk, man? I don't know if you want to cut this off. I have to go piss, man.
Yeah,
So
we'll keep
Yeah.
talking, we'll
Go
keep
do your
talking.
thing, dude.
Yeah, so Machiavelli was like an Italian diplomat, and he's like one of like the founding fathers of like political science. He authored a book called The Prince, and The Prince is like the go-to guide for anyone that like wants to become a politician. So the ends justify the means is a kind of catch-all political phrase which suggests that you take any means necessary to get to whatever destination you want to in the future. So it's a pretty unethical approach, but it's an effective one.
Yeah, it would be. Interesting that you say that because every time you think Machiavelli, I think of Tupac. So he released a lot of his albums based on those books because his whole thing was something about, there was a whole conspiracy about Tupac about faking his death and then coming back alive, and he read all these books and he named all his albums. So I am familiar with it. But I think there are people out there that are naturally like that.
Yeah, well, it's a tendency. Like if you look at the dark triad of psychology, you've got like narcissism, you've got sociopathy, and you've got like Machiavellianism.
Yeah.
You've got like those 3 factors.
See,
So
I didn't know that was a part of psychology.
Yeah, you can do a test.
Wow.
Where you can kind of associate yourself and see like what dark triad traits you actually have. And to be honest with you, for people, like they seem to be like monster kind of like traits to have. They seem to be kind of like evil, but at the same time,
is that like that thing Jordan Peterson said? Will be a monster.
But if you can socialize it, you can begin effective
and make it more ethical.
Yeah, you can make yourself an effective business person, etc. Like if you did the dark triad psychology test on Mark Zuckerberg, bro, he'd be high.
Yeah,
because he's an effective business person.
That's interesting though, because I feel as if he loves it. He's back, baby. I feel as if I've looked at myself and I've seen extremely high narcissistic traits, and as well as what was the other thing that you said?
So there's narcissism, there's sociopathy, which is like zero empathy, and then there's also Machiavellianism, which I was suggesting ends justify the means.
If I always thought that in a little part of me when I was a lot younger, in regards to some of the things that I would want to do in regards to like attention and stuff like that, like it would be a bit of sociopathic behavior. But it's crazy though, because I never did that at the expense of anyone else intentionally. So I think that kind of rules it out. But in regards to narcissism, high traits in my personality for that, because of the way I factor on the dis factor or certain things.
A lot of effective business people in general have high
yeah, exactly. But it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like because everyone says he's a narcissist. My one of the most hurtful things my stepfather ever said to me is he said, "You're a narcissist."
Yeah,
and that broke me to my very core. But the thing is, I'm not. Yeah. And I have those traits,
classic definition
which is
of it,
why I'm in the position that I'm in now.
Right, but the classic definition of it, Kay, would literally just be what? Excessive and obsessive self-love. Some people don't have enough of that. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, like self-love, I think removing the narcissism probably a better way to approach it. But at the same time, it's like, there's nothing wrong to have a slight narcissistic tendency, because you'll always be content, I reckon. In a way, because if narcissism is excessive self-love,
you are not narcissistic.
There you go.
No, but I think
you're a nice person, man. Look,
I appreciate that. Thank
every
you.
person has their own journey, but look, I spent some time with you before I got onto the podcast. That's what I'm saying, guys. Like, subscribe, and fucking comment. These guys are good people, man. They got energy. They just need your support. That's it, man. But
no, but
you're
I
not
think
that person.
No,
man.
but I think I have the humility to be able to self-diagnose and understand certain traits of myself. Are you going to use
somebody to your own advantage?
No,
you're not a narcissist.
No, exactly. But there's a very different definition in what we were saying before. There's very definition between narcissism, Machiavellianism, and sociopathic. But you can have traits of those certain things which are extremely beneficial. Like some people are empaths. Now, those people are extremely good with understanding people, but people that are a complete empath will have huge disregard
for themselves.
Yeah, exactly. And other people will use those people. And usually they do link up with people that are high narcissists. Like I've met high narcissist people and they are douchebags. But I can say I have certain traits where I'm very self-aware and I'm very confident, and certain situations that don't scare me. You know, I don't get a lot of anxiety. I don't get a lot of self-doubt. But that doesn't make me a narcissist. But you got to be very careful as where you draw the line. And that's very interesting about what we're talking about people's egos. Is it necessarily a bad thing? I think from my understanding of like my little journey into spiritualism and stuff like that, and the people that I met, I think very trigger happy as to define what people are. And I think you can have traits of having an ego that are very, very successful, because sometimes the ego actually protects you. Sometimes you don't have to dive deep and simp and go, why did this happen? And sometimes you can be a bit of a fucking asshole, and that's good.
It's the best.
It's good to be an asshole sometimes
I'd rather respect a fucking asshole than somebody who kisses my ass.
Yeah.
At least an asshole is going to be real. If he wants to fucking stab me, at least he's going to be stabbing me from front.
Yeah.
I can't have people stabbing me from the back. You know what I mean? Because I ain't got no eyes at the back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree with that.
But yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that's solid. No, that's
No,
solid. That's
100%.
solid as.
I like
100%.
people who are real, you know.
Yeah,
I like people who
100%.
speak from their fucking chest, you know. People who speak from their gut. People who know what they're talking about and are humble enough to say, hey, you know what? I don't know about this topic. Why don't you educate me about it? But I know about this, so how can I help you, you know?
Just out of curiosity, Kishan,
Yeah.
considering we both studied, did you do a major in entrepreneurship or a minor?
No, I did not. I'm
did a
majoring it. I mean, in terms of business, that's my major. But
Right, but did you
He's a major businessman on these oranges,
Right.
bitch.
oh,
Yeah, but you did study entrepreneurship, yeah?
100%.
Yeah. So I would, because we were talking about those dark triad traits and stuff, man. So would you say that entrepreneurs have like high tendencies in the dark triad of psychology, like Machiavellianism, narcissism?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Psychopath is when you're born a psychopath. Sociopath is when you're made to be a sociopath. Machiavellianism.
That has something to do with neglect and stuff as well. That can have to do with childhood
it's
trauma.
a lot of trauma. It's just who you are as a person, who you hang around with. It's just like if people use you a lot when you're young. I mean, if you got molested when you're a kid, I don't know. You can become a sociopath, right? You can become a complete.
Right.
But look, entrepreneurs are very simple people,
Okay.
right?
Almost black and white.
Never black and white.
No?
Nah.
So
That's why I was asking.
That's what makes entrepreneurs very difficult, but at
Yeah.
the same time very easy.
The reason I'm asking is because there's a lot of fraudulent actors within the entrepreneurial space that kind of give it a bad
so
name.
what basically an entrepreneur is?
Yeah.
It's he would take an idea.
We'll
and
just stop. We're getting
commercialize
echoes from
it.
that. We're getting echoes from that. But Karen,
and commercialize it.
just getting echoes from.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
oh.
no, you're good. You're good.
Take a product or like an idea and commercialize it and somehow monetize it. That is what an entrepreneur is basically. Is how many hours can I put into something before it works?
Yeah.
So when you're talking about black triads, yes, I agree.
Yeah, like the
To be-
hyper successful
To be a fucking entrepreneur,
Yeah. Like if you're maintaining market
yeah,
position.
you need
like
to
if you're a
have this
Facebook-
criminal mindset.
Yeah, you have
alright?
to have that kind of like, okay, I got to maintain market share because I've got X amount of stakeholders in my business. There's so many parties that are affected by every business decision that I make. I need to dominate.
Yeah.
I really believe that you get to that
yeah.
scale and you're just like,
That-
all right,
that's
There's
competitive
a certain
behavior.
scale of
That-
that and everything.
That's competitive behavior, but the dark
Yeah.
triads is like this criminal mindset, right? Like how.
Yeah.
So earnings management
sure.
is a term that is actually legal in the business world, in the accounting world. You can manage your earnings because you have certain pressures from your stakeholders. Now, what earnings management basically means is you can easily manipulate your books, and that is fucking legal, right? But it's
Illegal.
not legal to.
right, yeah,
It's not legal if you're laundering money. No, it's legal if you're doing it to sustain your business in the long term and quiet down the pressure groups. That's called earnings management. It is a criminal, fraudulent behavior.
So someone like Donald Trump who paid fuck all tax but makes more money than
How do they pay zero tax?
because they're very intelligent. They know how to write it up.
I show you how they make zero tax. This is the most simplest thing, right? You got a company
yeah.
that's established in America. Let's say, okay, established in, because we're in Australia, right?
Yeah.
Fuck America, man. You know what I mean? You got 27.5% tax that you got to pay.
Is
or-
that under a trading name or a company name?
company
20%.
name,
Yeah.
and 30%, whatever. Now sorry about that, but you got a company that's made in the Cayman Islands or Panama or like the British Virgin Islands or whatever it is. Now you got a company there that's basically incorporated as a consulting company and charges you a fee, an expense of consultation. So you make $100,000 in Australia. So instead of paying $30,000 in tax, what you're going to do is you're going to remove your expenses, this, that, yada,
of
yada.
course.
And then another company, a third party company, is going to basically come and say, you know what, I advised you, I consulted you, so this is my bill. And what you're going to do is you're going to pay that bill, and it's going to go to another industry, another entity, another country, another whole new entity, basically. And your basically profits are zero. So you pay zero tax,
Right.
right? But then all your money is already wired to something else. Now this is called consultation fee. This is how people launder money.
It's a perfect
right?
example.
This is how people make zero payments on their tax. I like tax because roads are getting built.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect example of that would be Kishan is like how Google structured themselves. Like Google would just Google, and then they became Alphabet because they wanted like a subsidiary to kind of make them appear like less of a big corporation in the government's eyes. They just set up like a subsidiary company. Yeah, and kind of like you really need a whiteboard to kind of explain it properly, don't you, Kishan?
And you have to learn how to do it because I'm at that point now where, because of my career, what I'm going to have to be looking at, and seriously, is I'm looking at about 49% of my tax could get taken away from me.
Why though? Why?
Because I work for someone else. I'm not a sole trader.
No.
No, but that's the thing. I need to work out seriously within myself on how to actually do that. So I do need legitimately.
Okay.
No, it's not. It's not 40.
Like,
It's not 40. It's in the 40%. But it's
help
fucking ridiculous.
Do you need any help? Like,
yeah, probably.
Okay.
But we'll talk about we'll talk about that another time because otherwise people are going like, "Welcome to the accounting channel." You know what I mean?
No.
Like,
I mean, but it's something I can understand. But at the same time, the ATO can really fuck me up, man. Because what I'm gonna show to you is like, it's something that you can use legally to minimize your tax, and that is being a sole trader. You don't have to create or sell or anything. You just have to make some bracelets and stuff. And you know what? Hey, you can claim your rent. You can claim your electricity. You can claim all these things because it's a business. Your podcast can be a business.
Yeah.
So instead of paying like 49% or 41%, whatever the fuck you pay, first of all, that's wrong. First of all, you should be getting paid as a company because that's a flat rate of 30%. And by the way, trust accounts pay zero tax.
just to let you know.
Just to let you know, if your profits are,
That's how I structure.
I kind of get the feeling this is going to go into like a really
Look, we're smart, man.
tax invasion
we good,
podcast. What's up? Maybe people will like it.
Good, you know.
Yeah.
But speaking on your point before, which I found really interesting, and something I want to bring up is someone that is business that automatically came to my head because you were like, who do you think has traits of narcissism, Machiavellism, and sociopathic? Pablo Escobar.
Yeah, sure.
Bang, right there. That dude, he didn't pay any tax, but still. That's a man right there that would go through any lengths imaginable for him to succeed. Yep. I think you have to be a certain type of person, but some people might not have the skills to be able to.
Kobe or Michael Jordan. Like Kobe's a perfect example of a person that was like sociopathically obsessed with winning. Like the guy would wake up at like 4 a.m, bro. He like trained twice a day, like crazy schedules.
Yeah, and I think like people that will have that trait but don't know how to
control it.
Yeah, or just put it in the right direction for a better. For a better understanding, because I think if you can channel that energy in the right way rather than affecting the people around you, I think that's a brilliant thing. But the people around you really do need to understand that. Like, so in a situation where a guy might be working 60 hours a week, but then he works another 20 hours a week on his business, and the rest of that time are for eat, sleep, rave, work, repeat. His partner isn't gonna eat, sleep, rave, repeat. Yeah, his partner isn't gonna stick around for too much longer. She's gonna go, I'll go look up this motherfucker who will take me out to dinner once in a while. You know what I mean? But that guy will never be the king. So that guy will never be the king of the castle.
Yeah, talking about Machiavellism, right?
Yeah, go on.
When I was a young kid, I've got 2 elder sisters who are like 10 and 8 years older than me. So when I was growing up, they told me that my father started drinking because I was born. Right, and I don't know. It was just this whole commotion around when, like, these are the dark moments where I would never tell nobody apart from myself in the mirror. Nobody knows these things, you know. These are deep to my core. And when those times when I used to be like, you know what, I'd rather fucking die than to be in this world and cause people misery. So there was a time when I like downed up 18 Panadols and like foam started coming out of my mouth. My mom's panicking. That's Machiavellism in me.
Wow.
I'm just telling you
To
these black things,
an
right?
extreme of self-harm?
Yeah, it's
I
like to the point
understand
where, you
that.
know what, like
Yeah.
I don't need to like live because what is life? I don't know what life is because I'm still a kid and like people are saying, you know, I destroyed people's lives.
How old are you?
At this moment, I'm 24 years old.
Okay.
So that Machiavellism was very strong with me because look, I come from a family background that drinks heavily, man. It's basically a
on the cord,
curse and a blessing. Like, you got everything in life, you got money, you got everything, but you still got all these issues that you got to face with. Every family got, I'm not fucking perfect, I'm not God, I'm nothing, man. You know what I mean? So there have been times where I am suicidal, where I would feel like, what is it? But now as an adult, I look back and I'm like, so many things I could have done better. So
that's your thing. So you finish your thing.
Yeah, let me finish. When I used to be young, I used to get into trouble a lot. So my first joint was when I was 12 years old. The first time I popped my first ecstasy pill was when I was 13 years old. And the first time I fucking sniffed my first line was when I was 16 years old. And the first time I ever got handcuffed and put inside a prison cell, which is not like a main maximum prison, but a jail, like a detention center, whatever, was when I was 16. And the same time, the next morning when I had to call my parents up and I'm like, you know what, I'm locked up, you need to come get out. This is in Kenya and Parklands. We're 4 people, man. We were 5 people who got handcuffed, man. We're 5 people who got into this trouble. And out of them, the 5th guy, he went away, but 4 guys, we were inside, man. And I blacked out in that place. The morning when I called my mom and my dad, because I didn't have the balls to call my dad, man. He's this like menace in my head. I had to call my mom and say, you know what, Mom, I fucked up.
That must have been hard.
Yeah, and there's this small, tiny window from this metal door. I see my mom peeping in, and it's a sad look. And that's when I changed my life. That's Machiavellism, where I was willing to fake my death, leave the house, pack my bags, leave. Now, sociopath, where it comes. Suicidal, at the same time, very much into the face, like, criminal thoughts. The mind is a criminal. My heart is gold, but my mind is a criminal. That is what I believe. So it's like, how can I do certain things in order to gain control, gain power?
Yeah.
And then my heart would be like, you know what, you don't need to do that. So go into the spiritual journey of Om.
Yeah.
And then I would start praying or whatever.
Whatever it is. Of course. Yeah.
But now that's sociopath. Now, with entrepreneurs, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you gotta fucking work hard. You're not always gonna have money, and you gotta bootstrap from either money that's like unsolicited, or basically like, I don't know, man, like money you can sell from the drugs or whatever it is.
No,
like,
I gotta get one of these
capital.
things.
You gotta
these
bootstrap.
beers just keep popping up.
Not necessarily.
You know, we're going deep. I love this, man.
One for each hand.
We can have like
no, but one thing that's interesting, that's your thing.
Yeah.
Right? That's your thing.
Like,
the Machiavellis is where you feel like this is the moment where I will either do this or die. Now I know mine.
Okay.
Mine is very different.
Okay, I spoke about Machiavellism and sociopath.
No, but I want to see if we've all got that. Yeah.
Let's talk about narcissism.
But one thing I do want to say is everyone has that one thing of Machiavellism, right? Everyone has that one thing. You have that one thing which you've just explained where you say, I don't want to, I mean, if you were to short term describe what's your one thing that goes, I would rather die than.
Well, back in the day.
Be a bad person.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so that's your thing.
Now I don't want to die for shit, man.
Exactly. But when we're talking about Machiavellism, because we're all very similar-minded people and very open, my Machiavellism is I would rather die, and this is my thing. I don't know if this is my background or what, but this is hell hectic. I would rather die than look like a bitch. You know what I mean? There we go. Yeah, you know what I mean? And to explore that.
Yes, sir.
That's my thing.
Energy.
That is my thing.
big dick energy.
And the people around me know that. The people that have been in my life have seen me go out on my sword. And I have been in situations where I've been in great danger. And I'm not going to name, this is one of those examples. And I'm not talking about like a street fight, because I'm a fighting man, but it's not like a, I mean, it's the kind of thing where it doesn't matter if the guy's 6'7" or whatever. I will not look like a bitch. I will fight. I would rather not look like a bitch, and I would rather die. But I'm not saying that as in that's where I'm going with this. What I am saying is here's a situation. Now, when you're a stupid young kid, this is my big one that I thought about this last night, actually, and it's interesting that we're talking about this. I was in a car with one of my best mates at the time. Now, he was a tough motherfucker in school. He was the tough guy.
Yep.
I'm not going to name again, but he talked like this, and he always talked about himself in third person. So let's call him John Pinkerton. My name is John Pinkerton, and I am a ruthless dude. You know, like he will know who he is when I'm saying this to the camera. But this guy, we were in a car, and I'm 16 years old, and I was hanging out with guys that were 3-4 years older than me. And I'll never forget this. We were in a car, and old mate was driving the car. John Pinkerton was, whatever his name was driving the car. Now, he was driving the car pissed out of his mind. And we were going down Parry Road, and it was pitch black. He thought it was funny to turn the lights off, and then he started driving the car with his knees on the opposite side of the road around blind corners. Whoa. So he's driving on the other side of the road around blind corners with his hands here and driving with his feet, and at one point close his eyes. I know, right? Absolutely insane. And this, exactly. But there was a gentleman right next to me. His name was Harry. I looked at Harry, and Harry was 4 years older than me, and like started crying, and he was like, dude, stop, dude. And he bawled his eyes out, and he looked at me, and like my heart was like, come on, bro, this guy's doing the wrong thing. You really need to pull him in and say, mate, you're putting our lives in danger. But you know what I did? I went, stop being such a pussy, mate. Yeah, go on and carry on. And that's one thing that I look back on that time, and I went, Jesus, I would rather die than look like a bitch. And that is one of the scariest things. And that is one of my things. And that is something that I'm somewhat proud of, but extremely scared about at the same time. And still to this day, nothing has changed. You know, I've been in situations where nothing has changed. I've been in extremely dangerous situations where I've nearly died, and nothing has changed. And what's your thing? What would you rather die than?
Okay. So what's the alternative is dying if I... Yeah, right. So
everyone's got... Like, we're talking about Machiavelli. Everyone's got a thing. I would rather die than...
Interesting question. So I'm trying to think to myself. Would I...
Just to drop it off
before being unfulfilled.
Unfulfilled.
So like at the end of my life, if I haven't like lived it to like the standard that I kind of hold myself to, then yeah, I'd rather die like before my time.
Okay, so that's interesting, but I think it's hard for us to relate because you and I, when we were younger, we've both been locked up. I've been to jail too. I understand. Yep. So we kind of get that because we were shits when we were younger, ultimately. And you grow up, you become a man. You look after the people around you. Your shit calms down. Your testosterone drops slightly, but at the end of the day, like I think we can kind of relate to that on a deeper level because I guess we were very similar when we were younger. Yeah, I think we would have been. But you went down a
I felt it, man.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, and you went down a different path. You went down an academic path. You went down a like a path of intelligence and a path of knowledge and learning. And one thing that I am envious of you, Mason, is you learned that from a much younger age than I did. And that's something that I'm not envious in the way that I'm like, fuck you, how could you do that? But it's something that I'm like, I find that incredibly endearing. And I think that's something really, really like, you should be proud, man. That's dope.
Yeah, no, it's good. But I must say this, dude. Like, thank you. But then at the same time, I've met a lot of... Thank you. Am I blushing? Anyway. But I've met a lot of people that are like super academic that have no street smarts, have no common sense.
Yeah.
Like some people get so loftily like their heads in the clouds with like thinking about books and stuff like that. Like, there's so many law students that I've met. Bro, they're so stupid.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, because they've got no street smarts.
Bro, they're all reading and arguing. That's their job.
Well, I think
they're not unintelligent
sometimes
people. They're just the common sense goes out the door sometimes.
Your street smarts can fuck you in the long run because growing up in New Zealand, and I haven't really talked about this a lot, but we're going to wrap it up in about 2 minutes because we're almost at an hour and 20 minutes, so we've got enough foot. Yeah, I know.
Yo, bro, The fucking viewers need to see this, man.
Yeah, but it's called algorithm, bro.
Our brain. No, algorithms are gonna work. Guys, if you're gonna watch this, like, subscribe, and share, man.
I'll tell you what, we'll cut this one off. We can film another one. Why not?
Okay.
We'll film another one.
We want to pick our brains, man. You want to be something in life. You wanna give something back to the community. These two blokes are fucking great.
I love this guy. He's so cool.
So much hard work.
He's so damn cool. Why is he so cool?
Kissing my
I
ass.
don't know, man. Like, I'm not kissing nobody's ass. It's just that we're working hard for like cameras and like it's like lighting
How
and
did taste, Kishan?
there's a lot of things going on, and this moment I feel the most alive that I've ever been in my life because not only because the cameras, because I feel like I am bouncing off ideas with two different individuals.
It's a natural high, man. I've done a lot of podcasts. You get a natural high after a podcast.
It's not about podcasting or being in front of a mic, man. Okay, it's about having people with different personalities understand different fucking topics they're willing to talk about. Nobody's willing to talk about these things when I'm like getting drunk or I'm getting high, man. When I'm trying to talk about like real estate, for example, or trying to flip some cars or trying to make some money or trying to talk about business, people look at me like I'm egoistic, man. I'm no fucking egoistic, man. You're just talking about, you're talking about these topics.
Yeah, you got
man.
a point.
Like we're talking about something. So if you want to wrap it up, you can wrap it up. But I'm just like,
We'll carry on talking after because there's nothing different between the cameras and stuff. But like
for the people, man.
For the people.
For the people. Affanculo.
Salute to my little friend.
Yeah.
No, but like one thing that I was gonna say, like, subscribe, by the way.
Yeah.
But one thing I was
thank you.
I even forget to say that myself.
Fucking subscribe. Yo, how many subscribers you got, man?
Oh, fuck off. But we'll get there.
No, okay.
We'll get there.
If you get 1,000 subscribers, man, I'm gonna down a whole black label in front of the camera, man.
Yes, let's get
a whole
1,000.
black label in front of the camera, man, and I'm gonna pass out in front of you motherfuckers right now.
And then you'll probably shut on my floor, but
I was shit. I won't puke. I won't do nothing, man. I'm a pretty good boy, man. But if you guys get 1,000 subscribers, I'ma down this whole bottle, man. I promise you in front of the fucking camera.
That's what I want to see.
So subscribe, like, and share, man. What the hell are you doing, man?
So my last.
Who's doing it in Perth, man? What about this energy, cuz? We're in Perth, man. We're in WA, man. We're not in fucking New South Wales. We're not in Victoria, man. We're in Perth, man.
Love McGowan.
We free, baby.
We are doing something big here, man. With the pinks and the greens and the things going on, man. Come on, hit a like and subscribe, boys.
You know what, man? After that, I'm gonna wrap it up right there, baby.
But before we go, guys, we did not pay Kishan.
No, we didn't pay the motherfucker. We didn't pay him.
Just fed him alcohol.
Love it. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching the podcast. As Kishan said, like, subscribe. That would be muchly appreciated. And share, please, if you can. Love you all, man. Thank you so much for watching the podcast. Tune us next time. Thank you.
Deuces.